Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start a new chapter, quadrilaterals, which comes after triangles. Now, what is a quadrilateral? We'll first see. Before that, let us understand a plane. When you have got one point in a plane, then you know infinitely many lines pass through one point. When we have 2 points, then a unique line will pass through 2 points, right? Only a line will pass. So from one point, infinitely many lines can pass. I have drawn 3, but infinitely many lines can pass. From 2 points, one line can pass. When we have 3 points, in 3 points we got 2 possibilities. Either the 3 lines are collinear, then only one line will pass. If the 3 points are not collinear, then 3 lines will pass, making a triangle. Yes? So now, in this chapter, let us see when we have got 4 points in the plane, the possibilities. Possibility 1. All the 4 points are collinear. Then they will only make one line. If there are 4 points in such a way that 3 points are collinear and one is non-collinear, it will make a triangle. But if we have got 4 points in which no 3 points are collinear, then we get a figure like this, or we will have a figure like this. So, what is a triangle? This is a triangle. So, you can see the lines here are not closed figures. Can you see this? This is not a closed figure, it is open. The lines are open figures. This is a closed figure. So the triangle is a closed figure. This is a quadrilateral is a closed figure. Even this is a quadrilateral which is a closed figure. So closed figures are called quadrilaterals. And a closed figure, the smallest closed figure has got 3 sides, a triangle. Now this is a closed figure with 4 sides. So these are generally called polygons. If we have got a closed figure of say 5 sides, we call it a pentagon. This is a pentagon, a closed figure of 5 sides. Okay? So a closed figure of 3 sides is called a triangle. A closed figure of 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. This to a quadrilateral there are 4 sides. Okay, I close the figure. The closed figure of 4 sides. A closed figure of 5 sides is called a pentagon. So we have got, this is a triangle. These two are quadrilaterals. Both of them, even this and this, 4 sides. This is a pentagon. Together, all of this are called polygons. Closed figures are called polygons. So remember this. Closed figures are called polygons. A polygon having 3 sides is called a triangle. A polygon having 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. A polygon having 5 sides is called a pentagon. Okay? So here, in this chapter now, we are only going to do and talk about quadrilateral. So I'll just remove the other things and talk about a polygon called a quadrilateral. So you can see now, what does a quadrilateral have? Now quadrilateral, you have to remember, has to be named in an order. So when I write the order, say A, B, C, D. The quadrilateral is always named in the order. You can name the quadrilateral A, B, C, D, means the points A, B, C, D are in order. Or you can call it A, D, C, B. A, D, C, B. Or you can call it C, B, A, D. You can even call it C, D, A, B. Whichever name you choose. This is a quadrilateral having 4 sides. The only condition is you to follow an order. So if you start with here, you can call it D, C, B, A or D, A, B, C. The order has to be maintained. So quadrilateral is a polygon having 4 sides. Okay, and how do you name a quadrilateral? You name the quadrilateral in an order. Now let us see what the quadrilateral has. It has got 4 sides. Which are the 4 sides? AB, BC, CD, D. There are 4 sides to the quadrilateral. It has got 4 vertices. What are vertices? The endpoints. So this DA and BA both end at point A. So A is a vertex, B is a vertex, C is a vertex, D is a vertex. Yes? What is a vertex? You can call it the endpoint. So BA and DA both terminate at A. So A is the endpoint, B is the endpoint. So these are the vertices. And we have the angles. A quadrilateral also has got 4 angles. Angle DAB, angle ABC, angle BCD, and angle ADC, or you can call it CDA, whatever you want to name it. So which are the 4 angles we have got here? We mentioned we have got angle DAB, angle ABC, angle BCD, and angle CDA or ADC. So what you can see in the quadrilateral? Again, a quadrilateral is a polygon or a closed figure with 4 sides. So that is the basic definition of a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a closed figure of 4 sides. So it has got 4 sides. You name the 4 sides AB, BC, CD, DA. The vertices are A, B, C and D. The 4 points, end points are the vertices. The angles DAB, ABC, BCD and CAD are the 4 angles. Okay? So quadrilateral has got 4 sides. Now next we have to understand what are the diagonals of the quadrilateral. Okay? So here I will again draw a pentagon also and a triangle also to understand. This is a triangle and this is a pentagon. Okay, let me name it. Let me P, Q, R, S, T. Let me call this X, Y, Z. Now understand diagonals. What are diagonals? And why it is very important, you will see just in a second what are diagonals. Okay? So pay attention clearly and understand why the diagonals are important. Let me call this quadrilateral D, E, F, G. So I have drawn on the board here 2 quadrilaterals, a triangle and a pentagon. Now to understand diagonals, you see, if you look at this point A, the vertex A, look at the vertex A. The vertex A has got 2 adjacent vertices, B and D. Means what does the adjacent mean? Which is on the side. On the sides are called adjacent. So if you look at this one, then there are adjacent points are which? B, A to B and A to D. So these 2 are the adjacent points. Look at this triangle. X has got 2 adjacent points. On one side there is Z, on one side there is Y. If you look at Y, it has got 2 adjacent points, Z and X. If you look at Z, it has got 2 adjacent points, X and Y. So those which are on the sides are called adjacent. So this one has got everything here. There are 3 points here. X has got 2 adjacent points, Y has got 2 adjacent points, Z has got 2 adjacent points. So every polygon, every vertex will have 2 adjacent points. So A has got B and D. D has got A and C. C has got D and B. And B has got C and A. If you look at P, then the vertex P has got 2 adjacent vertices, P and T. T has got S and P. S has got R and T. R has got Q and S. So these are the adjacent vertices. Now, if you join the line segment in such a way that it is not an adjacent vertex, then it is called a diagonal. So if I start from A, then B and D are what? Adjacent. So I cannot take that. So if I start from A and go to C, this point is not adjacent to A. Can you see that? This point A has got B and D which are adjacent, C is not adjacent. So AC is called the diagonal. And if I start from C, I will end at A. This is a diagonal BD. Diagonals means what? The point should not be adjacent. So 2B, A and C is adjacent while D is not adjacent on the opposite side. So BD and AC are called diagonals. Okay? Can I draw a diagonal here? In the triangle, try to imagine, can I draw a diagonal here? If I look at X, then Z on one side, Y on the other, adjacent points. But diagonal is not made by adjacent points. So in the triangle, there is no diagonal possible. So in a triangle, there is no diagonal. In a quadrilateral, there are two diagonals possible. Let us see the pentagon. If I start from T, look at T first. T, then S and P are adjacent. So I cannot draw diagonal from T to P and T to S. But I can draw diagonal TQ. This I can draw diagonal TQ. And another diagonal I can draw from T is R. So from T I can draw two diagonals TQ and TR. From the point S I cannot go to T, I cannot go to R, they are adjacent. But I can go S to P. So SP and QS are two diagonals which can be drawn from S. From R, I cannot go to S, I cannot go to Q, they are adjacent. But from R I can go to T, which I have already done. So from R I can now go to P. So from every point on a polygon, you can draw two diagonals. So look here now. From S, we have two diagonals. From T, we have two diagonals. From P, we have two diagonals. From Q, we have two diagonals. From R, we have two diagonals. But PR and RP is the same diagonal. PS and SP is the same diagonal. So a triangle has no diagonals. A quadrilateral has two diagonals. A pentagon has got 5 diagonals. You can count. See, the red lines 2, blue lines 2 and green line 1. So pentagon has 5 diagonals. So I hope you have understood what diagonals are. Diagonals means you start from a point but you omit the adjacent points. Go to the points which are not adjacent and you get a diagonal. So the last one here, this is also a quadrilateral having 4 sides. DE, EF, FG and DG are 4 sides. This is a quadrilateral. So what is the diagonal? If I start from E, I cannot go to F, I cannot go to D, but E can go to G. So this is one diagonal and this is another diagonal. Okay. So what do you observe here? You observe that in this quadrilateral, the diagonals are actually meeting at a point. So in a quadrilateral, when the diagonals meet at a point, they meet here. So this is called a convex quadrilateral. Convex quadrilateral means the diagonals meet at a point. And this one is called a concave quadrilateral. What does a concave quadrilateral mean? The diagonals don't meet each other. You can see the diagonal GE and DF, they don't intersect. If I extend, they will, but here these two line segments do not intersect. Here they intersect each other, so it is called a convex quadrilateral. Here they don't intersect each other, it is called a concave quadrilateral. So understood what a quadrilateral is? It's a polygon having 4 sides. Means a closed figure of 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. A closed figure of 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. It has got 4 sides, so name the 4 sides: AB, BC, CD, DA. It has got 4 vertices or endpoints: point A, point B, point C, point D. It has got 4 angles: DAB, ABC, BCD and CDA. And quadrilaterals are of 2 types. If they are diagonals, you understood what are diagonals? Diagonal is drawn from a vertex, but you have to omit the adjacent vertices, go to the opposite one. So a quadrilateral has got 2 diagonals. If the diagonals meet at a point, it is called a convex quadrilateral. If they do not meet at a point, it is called a concave quadrilateral. A triangle has got no diagonals and a pentagon has got 5 diagonals. So this is the basic idea or understanding of a quadrilateral. The next part is to understand The first property of this quadrilaterals is the angle sum property. So what do you have to understand? Angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Now you know the angle sum property of a triangle. What is the angle sum property of a triangle? The angle sum property of a triangle is if you add the three angles of a triangle, you always get the sum of 180 degree. We did this in the previous chapter called triangles. Now we are going to look at the angle sum property for a quadrilateral. What is the, write the same name ABCD, and we have to find out what is the angle sum property for a quadrilateral. For a triangle, what was the angle sum property? The sum of the three angles of a triangle gives us 180 degree. Now we move here. Okay. Now we already know the triangle. So what are we going to do? We are going to break up this quadrilateral into two triangles. You see what I have done? I have broken the quadrilateral into two triangles. Which triangle? Triangle ABC. You can see one triangle ABC and triangle ADC. So I have broken the quadrilateral into two triangles ABC and ADC. Now look at this. If you look at triangle ABC, the angle CAB, this one, angle CAB plus this angle B plus angle BCA. Why I am writing BCA? Because these two are separate. BCA equal to 180 degree. The sum of these three angles should be equal to 180 degree. Now look at triangle ADC. Angle CAD, this one, angle CAD plus angle D plus angle DCA. So I will call this DCA. BCA, that is also 180 degree. Why? Because we know the angle sum property of a triangle. When you add the three angles of a triangle, they give 180. Now we will add this two. Okay. How will we add this two? Look at this. CAB is this one, CAB, and CAD is this one. But if you add CAB and CAD, both if you add up, you get the whole angle A. So I got angle A. Have you followed? CAB is this part, CAD is this part. When I add CAB and CAD together, I get the whole angle A. Then I have got angle B, which is given here. This is angle B. Now here, BCA is this part and DCA is this part. So when I add BCA and DCA, I get the angle C, and we already have the angle D. So when you add the four angles A, B, C and D, you get 180 plus 180 is 360 degree. So this is the angle sum property of a quadrilateral which we derived from the triangle. So what we did, we broke up this quadrilateral into two triangles. The sum of these three is 180. The sum of these three is 180. But when I add these two angles, I got the whole angle A. When I add these two angles, I get the whole angle C. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is 360. Now this logic can also apply to the pentagon. Let us see how to apply the logic to the pentagon. Okay, if you look at the pentagon, I have got two diagonals from S. So I have broken the triangle, the pentagon, to three triangles. Triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3. What is the sum of these three angles? 180. Of this triangle 180 and this triangle 180. So 180 plus 180 plus 180. The sum of the five angles of the pentagon will be 180 into 3, that is 540. Okay. So we are not having pentagon in the syllabus or in the topic right now, but just for your understanding. Triangle add up to 180. The three angles, angle X, angle Y, angle Z add up to 180. Here the four angles, angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D add up to 360. Then by the same logic here, angle S plus angle T plus angle P plus angle Q plus angle R will be equal to 540 degree. So the first property we did today for the quadrilateral. So have you understood what a quadrilateral is? I revise again. A closed figure, a polygon, with 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. And what is the angle sum property of a quadrilateral? If you add up the 4 angles of the quadrilateral, the sum is always 360. Even if it is convex or concave, no matter which one it is. If you add this angle E, this angle F, the whole angle G, reflex angle, and angle D, the 4 angles will give you total of 360 degree only. So this is the first property for the quadrilateral called the angle sum property. Okay, is it clear? So now we'll move to the types of quadrilaterals. Okay, so by the name we'll try to understand the quadrilaterals. Now, like we had the different type of triangles, you remember the different type of triangles we did? Equilateral triangle means all the sides are equal. Isosceles triangle, 2 sides are equal. Scalene triangle, no sides are equal. So based on the sides, the triangle are of 3 types. Now based on the side, we look at the types of the quadrilateral. Types of quadrilaterals. Now quadrilateral has got 4 sides. And just now we are only going to take the convex type of quadrilateral. So if you remember in triangles, based on the sides, there were 3 type of triangles. When all the 3 sides are equal, it's an equilateral triangle. When 2 sides are equal, it is an isosceles triangle. If no side is equal, it is a scalene triangle. Now look at this type here. In quadrilateral, what we have got? We have 4 points. What kind of 4 points? 4 points in which no 3 points are collinear. So look at this type. Now what you can see here, in this quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Can you see this quadrilateral? What is this quadrilateral special? This is the first quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel and 2 sides are not parallel. So if I write this quadrilateral A, B, C, sorry not C, D, I should go in the order. A, B, C, D, then A, B is parallel to C, D. So one pair of opposite sides is parallel, then this quadrilateral is called a special name, a trapezium. So what is a trapezium? A trapezium is one in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. So I can even have it like this. Let me draw it like this. This side and this side is parallel. So this is also a trapezium. Okay, this has a 90 degree, not an issue. That is not to be seen. What we have to see, the basic condition, necessary condition, one pair of opposite sides should be parallel. So here these 2 sides are parallel. There are 4 sides out of which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. You can see this. There are 4 sides out of which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Here there are 4 sides out of which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. So these are trapezium. Let me give it a name. P, Q, R, S, in which RS is parallel to P. So this is a trapezium. Now trapezium are also of 2 types. This is a simple trapezium. How? One pair of opposite sides is parallel. So these 2 sides are parallel and these 2 sides are non-parallel. Here these 2 sides are parallel and these 2 sides are non-parallel. Now what is the special condition? If in this trapezium the non-parallel side is equal, let us say in this trapezium the non-parallel side is equal, means AD equal to BC. Okay, so this is a trapezium, no doubt. So there are simple trapezium. What is a trapezium? In which one pair of opposite sides is parallel is a trapezium. But the non-parallel sides, if they are equal, then this trapezium is called an isosceles trapezium. So remember the names. In the sum, when they write the word isosceles trapezium, it will mean that the non-parallel sides are equal. So trapezium is generally what? A trapezium is a parallelogram in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. But you know nothing about the non-parallel sides, so it is a trapezium. But if the non-parallel sides are equal, it is called an isosceles trapezium. So condition 1. Now condition 2. What if not one but both the opposite sides of pairs are parallel? What if they both are parallel? So here in trapezium what we had, only one pair was parallel. Say this is W, X, Y, Z. Is a quadrilateral. WX parallel to ZY and WZ parallel to XY. Here only one pair of opposite sides was parallel. Here both the pair of opposite sides are parallel. These two sides opposite are parallel and this is also parallel. When both the opposite sides are parallel, you will call this a parallelogram. And in some books you will write the short form parallel and GM. Means what? Parallelogram. Okay, these are the words used. So what is a trapezium? If only one pair of opposite sides is parallel, it is a trapezium. But if both the opposite sides are parallel, it is called a parallelogram. Sometimes written parallel and GM parallelogram. Now, what happens if there is a parallelogram whose opposite sides are parallel? Can you see this? The opposite sides are parallel and each angle is also 90 degree. So there are two conditions here. What is the condition here? One pair of opposite sides parallel, trapezium. Both the opposite sides parallel, parallelogram. Both the opposite sides parallel and every angle 90 degree, then this becomes a rectangle. So how do you define a rectangle? A rectangle is a quadrilateral or it is a parallelogram also. You can see why is the rectangle a parallelogram? Because in a parallelogram the opposite side should be equal. So here the opposite sides are equal, so not equal, parallel. In a parallelogram the opposite side should be parallel. Here the opposite sides are parallel, so it is also parallelogram. But this parallelogram has got each angle 90 degree. 90, 90, 90, 90 is 360. And we know the angle sum property, it should be 360. So even if you add up the 4 angles here, it will be 360. If you add up the 4 angles here, 360. If you add it up here, 360, here also it is 360. It is a rectangle. So we are naming it. So how are we differentiating? One pair of opposite sides parallel, trapezium. Both the opposite sides are parallel, parallelogram. Both the opposite sides are parallel and each angle is right angle, rectangle. Okay. What if the opposite sides are parallel? You can see the opposites are parallel, but here, let me give it a name, D, E, F, G. Now here, this is a parallelogram, sorry not a parallelogram, a quadrilateral, but here we have got all the 4 sides equal. DE equal to EF equal to FG equal to GD. All the 4 sides are equal. So there can also be a parallelogram in which all the 4 sides are equal. So I will draw the rhombus again because this looks like a, parallelogram again. In a parallelogram it is not necessary that the sides are equal, opposite sides are equal. The condition is the opposite side should be parallel. Here, all the 4 sides are equal. When all the 4 sides are equal, this quadrilateral is called a rhombus. Okay. Are we done or not? I don't think we are done. We are left with one more parallelogram. Whose all 4 sides are equal. Just like this one, all 4 sides are equal, but also every angle is 90 degree. Means every angle is also equal. This special one is called what? A square. So see the order. One pair of opposite sides parallel, trapezium. Both the opposite sides are parallel, parallelogram. Both the opposite sides are parallel, every angle is equal, rectangle. All the 4 sides are equal, rhombus. All the 4 sides are equal and every angle is equal, square. And one last one is also possible. The adjacent sides are equal. What does adjacent side equal mean? If we have got S, T, U, V. STU is a quadrilateral in which ST and SV, these two adjacent sides are equal, and TU and UV, these two opposite sides are equal. Then this one is called kite. So now see how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can see all these are convex quadrilaterals. Why they are convex? If you draw their diagonals, they will meet at a point. Yes? If you will draw their diagonals, they will all meet at a point. If you draw these diagonals, they will meet at a point. So these all are convex quadrilaterals. And now again a last repetition, and you will have to learn these names, because when in the sum this name is taken, at once the picture should come in your mind. This is your mathematical vocabulary. Remember, whenever we use any name, if I use the word rectangle, then immediately you should know the opposite sides are parallel and every angle is equal. If I use the word parallelogram, the only condition, the opposite side should be parallel. Now all of these have got special properties, but the properties we are going to do later, because every one of them has got a list of properties which will mathematically derive through our theorems and understand them. But just now only the types of quadrilateral. There are 6 types. Let us remember the name. When we use the word trapezium, means one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Okay? If you use the word parallelogram, both the opposite sides are parallel. If you use the word rectangle, both the opposite sides are parallel also, and every angle is equal. If you were to use the word rhombus, you know basically all 4 sides are equal. The word square means all 4 sides are equal and all 4 angles are also equal. And this is a kite, which means the adjacent side, means the sides adjacent to each other, these 2 are equal and these all 4 are not equal. These 2 are equal and these 2 are equal, forms a kite. So these are the types of quadrilaterals. Now in the further lectures, we are going to understand the properties of each of this separately. We are going to understand the trapezium separately, the parallelogram separately, the rectangle separately, the rhombus separately, the square separately, and the kite separately. Look at this video 1 or 2 times if the need arises and learn the name of each one properly. After we are done with this, we will move on to the next topic. I am going to end here. Thank you.